You asked a question on page 629. You said, what is restoring the state of multiple layers, or how to execute that? Well, I tried to follow the steps here, but the problem is I did not find the file that is called 12start.las. So I decided to make this video to explain to you how to use the layer state manager. So let's say I have this drawing and I have multiple layers like that. I have many layers in this drawing, and I have another drawing which is empty, and it's a new drawing and I have no layers in it. Let's say, for example, I got a drawing from someone who has many layers here, and in my drawing, the one that is empty, I have no layers, but I'm interested in taking all the layers from that drawing. So how can I do that? Well, first of all, I'll go to the drawings here with the multiple layers, and I go to Home tab. Under the Layers panel, I press on this arrow and I click on Manage Layer States. So this is the Layer States Manager. Now I need to export those layers from this drawing. So how can I do that? I click on New. So this is a new layer states that I'm creating. I call it any name you like. I'm going to call it All Layers. And for the description, just you can say All Layers. And then we press OK. Now the next step is we press on Export. So once we click on Export, then here I can save those layers. So let's say I'm going to save it for now on my desktop. This is the file name. It's called alllayers.las, and under the file type, layer states.las. So I'm going to save it here. Now this is done. Now next, when I go to my empty drawing or this new file, then I need to export or import, excuse me, we need to import all the layers from that drawing. So it's the same thing. We go to Layers again. We go to Manage Layer States, and then we click on Import. So once I go there, the first thing I need to make sure is my file type is not drawing. It should be layer state.las. Once I click on that, I can find it on my desktop. So here it is, all layers.las. And then it's asking me, restore could not restore all line types. I click OK for now. And then the next question is he's going to ask me if I want to keep all or restore all the colors, line types, all the characteristics from that drawing. If I click on Restore States, I get all the colors exactly the same as in the other drawings there, in the other drawings. So with the same colors and with the same freeze layers, so exactly the same. So if I don't click on Restore, then the whole layers will be copied without their characteristics, such as the color, the type, the line type. So they will be all, the text will be all copied, and this way you will be able to edit those layers if you wish to change the color of one of the layers, or if you wish to freeze or thaw some of the layers. There is also an important thing about the Layer Manager. If I go to Layer Properties And if I make everything, if I thaw everything and I turn on all the layers like that, and then I go to the layer state manager, and now I created a new layer. I'm gonna call it layers on. That means all the layers are on. Nothing is freezed or turned off. And I just describe it as on, and that's it. I press OK, and now I close the manager. Then oops. Then I just close the layer properties. So now I have everything in my drawings. The table, the frames. Let's say, for example, now I want to work on my drawing and I want to freeze some of the layers here. Let's say I'm going to freeze all these, just as an example. And now let's say I'm working with my drawings, and then I wanted to bring back the ones that I froze. I don't want to go and press on them manually and go like every time I press on that and make it on, or if I want to unfreeze that. So there's one way I could do is that after I saved from the layers panels, after I saved and layer state in the layer state manager, there is one layer that calls layer on. And if you notice, all the layers are back to the previous state that I assigned for them. So once I click on layers on, then I have everything on. I don't need to go and click each one by one to change the layer of each. So this is a very cool way to save you some time. You also have a question on page 631, step 2. You were unable to execute step 2 or the dimensions panel. I'm going to show you here on the drawings how to get into it. And the first thing you need to go to is to annotate. This is the annotate tab. And then you go to dimensions here. But under the dimensions panel, there is a little arrow here. If you press on it, then it will take you to the dimension style manager as indicated on figure 12.3. And from there, you can also execute the rest of the steps